I was thinking about what to talk about today as we gather and as we develop a little resonant bond by thinking about a similar topic. And I came upon an analogy, and the way I look at distance healing or energy healing is that the imagination is a big component of it. And it's not that you're just imagining yourself well and it somehow randomly works, although that seems to help a lot of people to just have positive thinking. As I've worked with energy healing and magic and manifestation through the years, I'm enough of a researcher to want to understand the mechanism of it. So I wanted to do an experiment today, and we're still gonna go to the pond, and we're still gonna feel better, and we're still gonna heal. But I'm gonna ask us to think of somewhat similar images while we do it. Normally I say you go in and you're gonna come to this nice healing sanctuary, you're gonna wander down to the pond and gather around a circle, and I kind of guide you that way. But that's fine and that's good, but what happens, it's almost like it's not that we imagine that, but it's how we imagine that. So I wanted to give you a couple more ideas with images attached to them that might help us get even better results. I mean, people feel better after this, they feel lighter, they feel refreshed, and that's really, really good and important. I'm trying to break any barriers we have to just spontaneous remissions. It's just, these are the things I think about. Other people think of spreadsheets, other people think of recipes. I think of how can I cure cancer? How can I break that barrier? This is the things I wonder about during the day. So in my squirrely little mind, or my amazing mind, I came up with this diagram. And let's see, how do we do it? Okay. So this green circle out here represents us gathering together. Or it could also represent gathering together in the inner sanctuary that I take you to. So it's like a holding place for that. And then this brown circle would represent the circle that we stand on when we gather around the pond, and the pond is that blue squiggly thing. And then the orange dots are little circles, and they represent the people and pets that we're trying to heal. Okay, and I was thinking about resonance, and how do I do this? And how I've used, if I'm over here, yeah, there we go. About resonance and how we can use this image to we're still going to do our spinning or our cycling, and we're still going to be there, but how do we use our imagination as an organ of perception, not as an organ of making something happen in the world? And I think this is so key. Part of surrendering, let go and let God, letting, not interfering, kind of being passive, has to do with watching it come to us rather than bossing God around and saying, okay, we're going to heal this way. And so what I do is I actually start the healing and then I receive images. And what I'm trying to do today is give us a menu of reception of images to receive, because the images that we receive come through our experience. So I'm giving you the experience of this image here, and the next image that I'm going to show you, so that you can receive these very, very simple images. So we're not seeing. You might sometimes some of us are very perceptive in our imagination. And we get, fairies and unicorns, and we get all sorts of wonderful, wonderful things. But others of us, it's I'm just making that up. I don't see how that's helpful at all. So this is a grand experiment. Thank you for playing with me. And we're going to see if we get some mileage. So notice these little orange dots in there. They don't look orange in the camera, but they look orange on my paper. And now we're going to turn over to this paper. Okay? And I'd like you to imagine that oops, how do I do this? I have a pointer. Here we go. So this thing here, sorry, I've never done this before on you. Okay. So this thing here are the orange dots that are inside the pond. Okay, so this represents a person or a pet with cancer. Okay, that orange dot. And you could say that they are embedded in a sphere, an energetic sphere that is their reality. And inside that reality they have cancer. And I'm symbolizing that as this orange dot. Okay? We'll get to the fun stuff, and you can let me know if you like this or not. This orange dot. And you could say that when we heal, we expand the circle so that it includes more. So there's more resources, more information, however you like to think of that. So that the orange cancer, the world where cancer could exist, which is this represented by this circle, gets larger, and then it goes one of two places. The world where the cancer exists either just disappears, which is like this circle where it just isn't there at all. I guess I need to use markers, not colored pencils, huh? Or it just blends in and is no longer causing a problem. So here's the orange and the yellow together over here. So let me repeat that a little bit. You didn't know you were going to work this hard, right? Thank you for playing with me. If this is too hard, I just still appreciate you being here, because just being here adds to the resonance of the group. So if this is like too much thinking, welcome to my world. Okay, but sometimes I hope it's useful. Okay, so the circle is all of us together, gathering inside the sanctuary. The little blue thing in here is the pond, and this is the circle that we're standing on, and the orange dots are the people and pets with cancer that are asking for healing. Okay, and then we're going to blow up those orange dots, and the idea is that we're going to notice. We're not going to make the circle get bigger around the people. So what we're going to do is we're going to have we're going to be looking at the people and pets with cancer floating on their little boats in the water. And I'd like you to notice that they're surrounded by a sphere. And as we say their name, just notice if the sphere goes one of these directions. Does it sort of dissipate into something larger where it's blended, or does the whole world where the cancer exists disappear? Or does it sit there and do nothing? And the idea is that we are not doing the healing. So by us imagining, of course we all want to be in one of these two places where the cancer isn't affecting us. But we can't, just by us generating that image, it doesn't seem to work that way. The way it does seem to work is if we are open to receiving that image if it's available. And this is how people like tell the future and things like that. Which is a whole other topic. But right now I'm just hoping that by us trying to do this exercise of imagining spheres around the people and pets with cancer, or if it's yourself, if you're a Healy, you can imagine that you're inside a sphere, and then when your name is called, you notice if something changes in your world, in your little sphere world. And you can do that with feeling different, but for those of us who are looking with our imagination, we can also notice it by the image changing. Sometimes the color of the sphere might change to show that something has changed. I especially like it when the shape increases or shifts or moves to a different location, because that means that we're really changing universes, we're changing possibilities. Okay? And then, yeah, all right. Does that sound like hard work to anybody, or you look good? Is it going to be okay? Somebody answer me. If this is too hard, because I've spent all this time, this is like a grand experiment. So if it's just kind of hard, then just listen to me, knowing that I'm doing something different today. Alrighty. So let's begin here. Let's do the actual formal healing thing.